How we going on, folks? Tricky day today. I sort of was half expecting it as well, considering it was such a wide open day and there was an awful lot of very, very competitive racing on. Um, Started off the day fairly promising. Obviously, Glengarra didn't get the gaps that we wanted. Ended up finishing fourth. Discovery is winning nap of the day, just about though. The rest was very much disappointing. Cyrus Dallin, Sea Ducker, Arkansas was a non-runner. Hamley and Lyra Bellacara, all of those were fairly disappointing, if I do say so myself. But look, it just is what it is, and it was competitive racing, and it's all the luck of the draw. I'm absolutely kicking myself I didn't go with Ice Cool and Alex. Just one of those things. It was a toss up between himself and Cyrus Dallin, and I went with the course and distance winner. So I'm just gonna have to live with myself with that. But because we'll aim for bigger and better now tomorrow. Now tomorrow is actually going to be done a little bit differently. There are some each way prices, but I'm not going to be doing that simply because it is my birthday tomorrow. I want to get plenty of birthday winners. So look at hopefully if we can have them all down to win. Totally up to yourselves what way you want to bet them now tomorrow, but I have them all done for the win just for the sake of it being my birthday and all that. But yeah, look at hopefully we've got most of these picked out fairly well. There's some nice prices in here for a win. If we get 2 or 3 or 4 of these winning now tomorrow, it'll definitely be icing on the cake anyway, that's for sure. First race off the 2 o'clock, I'm actually going to be avoiding this one simply because it is my patron pick of the day. Loving to see a bit of money coming down for it now already. So if you want to get on, I leave a link in the description below. 2:30, the nap of the day. We're starting off big. Hopefully we are going to get on the winning end of things. And for me, this one here is all about Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore with More Beautiful. Currently priced at 4-1. I cannot see past this horse when you look at what it's facing here. Running in Group 3, different group company, between group and listed events. Coming into the handicaps here, wouldn't necessarily need to be the world beater to win this sort of event. It's definitely a massive step down in class when you look at some of the horses that it's faced and the quality of those horses as well. It's like realistically, you're looking at a horse that's been running up against the likes of 110, 112, possibly even 120 company. And it's coming up today against in around 80 to 90 company here. Some even a bit shorter than that. So realistically, it's definitely well within its rights to go and win this race here. Lovely breeding and the things as well. When you look down the breeding, War Front filly out of Maybe, who is a Galileo mare. Yeah, it just screams. It screams talent and it screams potential. And realistically, More Beautiful wouldn't need to be necessarily over the top and completely stand out here to be able to win this sort of a contest. It's fairly weak compared to what it's been running up against, and realistically she should take all the stopping. 305, a very, very competitive race here now between the top 2, top 3 even in the market. When you look at Castle Star, Dr. Zemph, Go Bears Go, even Cadam Maestro, there's an awful lot in these here that you could make serious cases for. Even the Richard Hannon debutant as well is definitely very, very interesting, being unbeaten as well. But for me, I cannot look past Dr. Zemph for Ger Lyons and Colin Keane. Currently priced at 11-4. Course and distance winner, was a very impressive winner at that as well. Cost 420 guineas. As a yearling, has definitely shown plenty of I suppose, potential on its first outing when it absolutely blew the field out of the water. I know Castle Star is coming down in class, but realistically, Dr. Zemp has an awful lot more improvement to come. And the way it won the last time out, it was very, very impressive. Realistically, I don't think that there's going to be too much between an awful lot of these. And like realistically, it could definitely take some stopping coming from stall two. When you look at even the top four in the market, Castle Star is drawn in 8, Go Bears Go is drawn in 7, and Maestro is drawn out in 11. So it's a bit wide for those selections to be really pinning your hopes down on. We know Gerald Lyons loves to get his winners this time, or this flat meeting festival as well. So Dr. Zemf could definitely be one that the Gerald Lyons camp are pinning their hopes on. I definitely think realistically, when you look at the talent that this horse shown on his debut, it definitely does look to be a very, very exciting sort. And 11-4 for me is well within its rights to have a bit of a play here. 345, and this one here, obviously look at the Irish Derby. There's an awful lot of horses you could make serious cases for. Aidan O'Brien, I think, is 5. He is 4 or 5 or 6 potentially, but definitely with his string of horses, it's definitely brought up the competitiveness in it. High Definition heads to the top of the market, obviously ridden by Ryan Moore, looks to be the first string. The one that I am liking though, and pretty regrettably so, is actually a British trained horse, Mojo Star for Richard Hannon and Rossa Ryan. Rossa only stepped back in the saddle there today, and he's after having a great day so far. And in my opinion, he is definitely one of the best flat jockeys out there at the moment. The way he's been riding, the way he's so strong in the finish, and generally just his overall jockeymanship as well. Drawn in stall 4, nice enough draw. I would be expecting a fairly nice it's a fairly nice profile when you look at the fact that it's a Derby runner-up as well. Richard Hannon, just looking at his stats, 10 from 90 in the past couple of weeks. Ross Ryan obviously showing up not from naught, but he has been injured, and he has got he has got a few winners now up on the board already. So definitely does look to be a very, very nice sort. Obviously, look at Mojo Star being by Sea the Stars out of gallery. Zamadar Philly, or a Zamadar mare, should I say, cost 220 guineas as a yearling. Closely related to Italian 1 mile 2 listed winner Cape Magic, rated 95, half brother to 7 furlong to 1 mile 1 winner Portage, including 2 listed rated 115, and a dam placed up to a mile rated 80, closely related to 1 mile listed winner Mooring. There's definitely lots to like about it. I would be slightly concerned coming up against the Aidan O'Brien quintet, but realistically, it's got every chance here, and I definitely love the look of the profile, the position it's drawn in, the man on the horse's back as well. There's an awful lot to like about it, and realistically, it could definitely take some stopping tomorrow. Ignore At Your Peril. Next race off then, the 420, and it broke me heart to see Shane Foley going for Cadillac. But I definitely can understand why. But for me, the one that's definitely taken an awful lot of my fancy anyway is Njord for Jessica Harrington and Tom Madden. This one here currently priced is 7-1. I definitely think is well within its rights to actually go and win this race. It is a course and distance winner overall. Realistically, it could definitely cause a bit of an upset here. And the fact that it's drawn in stall 7, fairly nice draw, not necessarily too bad. Definitely very, very impressive last time out, when second in Haydock in a Group 2. It's definitely, I definitely would be expecting it to be bang bang there, but in terms of 7-1, I don't know. I definitely think he's overpriced, and the fact that he is drawing the better of the three, definitely would be one I would be siding with. And I think if you go against Njord, especially if the rain comes, and it's been sort of murky looking all day, it hasn't necessarily been June weather, you could say, so you could get plenty of rain overnight. I don't know, but if it does, it's definitely going to be in his favor, more so than Cadillac. And 7-1 for me is definitely well within its rights to go and win this race tomorrow. Again, ignore it, your Pearl. I definitely think it's one of the more likelier ones. I think it's the only course and distance winner of the race itself. Just going through. Okay, so Dawn Patrol has won already on the track. So is Raise You. Okay, so it's not the only course and distance winner. So look, it's up to yourselves. I just think that this horse here has more to come, especially with the way it ran in Group 2 company. I definitely think it's starting to click and starting to get into its own little frame of mind to actually go about and win a race of this standard. Next race off then, the 450. Cinnamon, going to be the next best of the day for me, for Mick Halford and Ronan Whelan. Drawn out in stall 10 is a little bit of a worry for me, but when you look at it being a former Group 3 winner in 2020, I definitely think it's got a great overall stamp about it. It's running in listed company here. It's coming down in a drop in class. Has had a bit of a pipe opener recently when third. Realistically, I think it's going to be a very, very hard horse to stop tomorrow, and 5-2, I am definitely all about it. I can't really see anything in here that's going to pose a massive threat. I know there is going to be ones that are going to put in a fairly decent performance, but in terms of a threat, I don't know. I think Cinnamon just has the aces in the hand now tomorrow, and realistically should take all the stop. And 5-2 is definitely a very, very nice price. 525, and this is the first of the big prices of the day. Just looking down here now, the horse is 16-1, trained by Luke Comer and ridden by Gary Halpin. He knows no fear, and we're definitely going in with no fear tomorrow. Like I said, currently priced at 16-1. I definitely think this one in here has been massively, massively overlooked. As we all know, He Knows No Fear is the record holder for the largest price winner on Irish soil at 300-1. That was in Leopardstown. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. Has since come out and won again last time out. Hasn't actually won at the Curragh yet, but definitely showed its sign of well-being, and its sign of well-being and sign of good health when winning last time out. Just checking again, what time was that? That was earlier on this month, so it's definitely in great form. That was on good ground. I definitely think it's well within its rights to actually go about and win a race of this standard. I really, really like him. I definitely think he's got an awful lot to like about him when you look at the way he runs and the way he he just shows his true grit and true fight. Gary Halpin hasn't necessarily been the best of form. Luke Homer the same, but this one here is definitely the more. It's I suppose you could class it as the stable star. There's not really many else in the yard that's as good. At least hasn't necessarily brought as much joy to Luke. In the past year anyway, the fact that it was a winner at 300-1, and I know a couple of members in the yard had a few bob on them that day, so it was definitely an exciting day that day. I definitely think the fact that it has won last time out definitely shown us true. Potential drawn in stall 3 as well, nice enough draw if it can get out the gates and avoid any interference. We've seen there today a few of the ones drawn on the inside just met, I suppose, interference and a bit of backlog on the running, you could say. But 16-1 for me, ignore it, your power, lads. I definitely think he's definitely well within his rights to actually win this sort of a race. 555, and a horse that I have been absolutely over and above with. Arcadian Sunrise heads the market, but we're not going to be going with it simply because, for me anyway, it's just a little bit too short and it hasn't necessarily shown what it can do around the Curragh. Interesting the fact that Shamie Heffernan takes the ride. The one that I am definitely liking very much so, just seeing has been actually well supported since the market opened up. I was lucky enough to get 16-1, but Dalton Highway currently priced at 10-1. The only course and distance winner of the field, lads. I definitely think it's not necessarily, when you look at the overall form, it's got nothing but duck eggs. But when you look at its form, especially in the Curragh, on good ground last year, won, if I'm not mistaken, won this race last year. I think he did, because I think it was ran. He actually did win this race last year. He did. Irish EBF maiden handicap, or not maiden handicap, handicap. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting here. Just looking back on what his rating was that day, it was 86, and today it is. Today it's 88, so he's only up £2 from the win last time. I definitely think it's very interesting. Sam Ewing on board claims £5. Obviously, look at he has, I suppose, rivals that are better treated, but none of them have shown their colours over the Curragh yet, and obviously being a dual course and distance winner as well. Just looking back in his form in the Curragh, oh Lord, 26th of March. Like he absolutely loves good ground, and he loves the Curragh for whatever reason, I don't know, but he definitely has an awful lot to like about him, folks. Sam Ewing is a very, very talented man in the saddle. 10-1, I would definitely be snapping that up, and realistically, it could be a bit of a springer tomorrow in the market. Definitely do not write this horse off. 10-1 looks overpriced in my personal opinion. But look at. That's all I have for tomorrow. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. As I said, it's the birthday tomorrow, so hopefully we're on plenty of winners like we were. Not necessarily today, but the past few times there was a few winners there and a few nice places and all that. So we're going to keep looking to keep pushing on and looking to try and get as many winners as we can. Betting wise, it's totally up to yourselves if you want to do each way on the last two. Like I said, 10-1 and 16-1 definitely would be generally on another day. It definitely would be each way plays for me. But if you're not in, you can't win. And I'm definitely hoping for a few winners, especially with the day that's in as my birthday. So yeah, that's the only reason why I've gone for winning them two. Otherwise, I would definitely suggest to have each ways. But look at, like I said, please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Very, very best of luck tomorrow. And for those who want to sign up to Patreon, although I would suggest maybe waiting until The 1st of July. I will leave a link in the description below, just for your own sake. I would definitely think it's a waste of time signing up now and then having to be charged again on the 1st of July. But look, that's just the way Patreon goes. Nothing really else I can do about that. But look, at very, very best of luck tomorrow, and hopefully we're on the back of plenty of winners.